Oh, I missed it. Any of the mulligan? Did you see?
No
I can ask them.
mulligans. No
Yeah.
mulligans.
Did either of you mulligan?
No,
Nope.
Oh, all
we're
right,
both at
cool.
7.
Cool.
Clutching all 7. Yep.
All right. Underground Sea. Start the game. All right. So you're thinking Rug is favored teamer?
It's hard to say. Again, I think I would have the person who's has more experience favored, just knowing the like how intense the mirror can be with like corner cases and just knowing like what to take with off the Thoughtseize and stuff like that. Um, here's the tilting art I was mentioning. I had no idea that was a daze, but that is a daze invocation. A
Daze,
little bit
Lightning
harder to
Bolt,
see
Dreadhorde,
on
Brainstorm, 2 Wastelands, and a
webcam.
Volk. What do you take? Dreadhorde?
I think you take Dreadhorde. I mean, I don't. I I would. You could also make a case for Brainstorm maybe, but it also depends on his hand. If Roland's got like 3 Delvers in hand, then he doesn't care about the Bolt. If he has a way to, if he has a Bolt, maybe he doesn't take the Arcanist
Yep.
and just takes the Brainstorm, and he can just play around Days, which he knows about, which will be kind of hard because of the 2 Wastelands. So he takes the Dreadhorde, probably doesn't have removal for it right now. And if he does, he's playing around, well, he knows about Wasteland and Days. So this Underground Sea is likely going to just get wasted here, but you can make a case. Yeah, so Alan's just going to fire off this Wasteland. I mean, Roland knows he has it in hand, and Roland has a lot of unknowns, so I think it's safer to just equalize here, which I think everything here was sequenced correctly for both players. But again, that's the cool thing about Delver Mirrors, at least in my opinion, is that any of the other lines I was mentioning are also totally viable. So Roland with the follow-up land here, really important to mulligan so that you have at least 2 lands against Delver. Um, yeah, it's just interesting, like how the mulligan changes things and who's on the play. Generally, I would say the Delver player that A is on the play and B has more experience is more favored. So I'd say Grixis, but not the deck itself.
I uh,
I know I said a
I'm
lot.
not sure.
But
No. I'm not sure which one I think is favored here. I know Roland, like you're pointing out, is the favored Delver pilot. Like if you wanted to pick a ringer to come represent you in a tournament and play Delver for you, I'd pick
that's kind of what
Roland.
I'm getting at. Not that Alan's not up to snuff, because Alan's an excellent player. I just
Yeah.
know that he doesn't pilot Delver as often. So
Um, I guess to finish my thought though, the Wasteland start with an opponent Delver in play is the kind of thing that um maybe is not always correct, and we'll
well,
find out.
we know that Alan has Bolt Days in hand, right? So I think the Wasteland is safe to fire off there. So he can now Bolt, and then he has Days backup. So Force, I mean, that's kind of a win, right? Because he's getting 2 cards out of Roland's hand. So he's just gonna hold this Days up.
Yeah.
But the problem here is now Roland is gonna get to waste the Valk, and Alan's essentially down 3 lands as well. So,
Yeah. I
but
think
Roland has
Roland's
the
going to
Delver
come out
hand.
ahead on this.
I think so as well, but again, Roland knew Alan's hand, so it's not like sandbagging the Wasteland is going to do anything. I
Yeah.
think if you lead off with Delver, I mean, bolting the Delver, maybe you can try and draw out the Days, but I don't know.
Yep. Thanks for the cheer.
Yeah,
You
it's a
are
Delver
still
mirror.
you are
I
still
got
our
to.
bits leader.
Yeah,
So
somebody
you
got to overtake.
stand high above everyone in that regard.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Alan's behind here, but only because Roland was thought seizing him on the play. I don't think Alan necessarily sequenced anything poorly. Um,
No, I didn't mean that at all. No.
yeah, for sure. I think if your opponent has Force Will, your opponent has Force Will. Like that's.
But it's those decisions, like do I waste? Is that my plan? That
Mhm.
kind of separates Delver players from other Delver players over, course of a Grand Prix or whatever. You know what I mean?
No,
Um,
absolutely. I think it's 100% right, and that's why I always say like Delver is like a 49% deck, because you're never really favored. I would say. You have to play correctly. All your wins matter. Um, it's a very grindy deck, very skill intensive deck.
yeah,
But
and get yeah.
sometimes you just get them. Sometimes you just have double flip Delver, and it's a non-game. So you have both sides of the coin.
Oh, oh, bolt on Delver, and Roland has no plans in place. So this might actually work out for Alan. We're,
Alan
we're,
says
we're still
bolt.
learning how this game will
He
go.
says bolt on insectile aberration.
Oh yeah.
Correctly so. So yeah, Alan's pretty far ahead now with the two lands in play. So this is where the double wasteland is paying off because
Yep.
eventually you're gonna run your opponent out of lands, right?
Yep. This is true.
And he still has his day's backup, which is right now really good.
He forces the opponent's brainstorm.
Well,
It's pretty good.
yeah, I mean, what did he pitch? Ponder?
Daisy
Probably has
here.
no lands in hand, so
He knew Alan had. Sorry, go ahead.
he's just fighting over resources at this point. He's trying to force out the days here, so Alan goes down a land essentially. Um, Again, Roland being the tempo player, having that mindset, he wants to try and equalize, try to set Alan back if possible. So yeah, that was essentially a do nothing turn, right? He brainstormed the previous turn, played a land, and then passed. So that's a win for Roland, I think. He needs to find a land though, otherwise he's pretty much out of this game. And there's a Misty.
Yep. Fetch for Roland. What's up, Eternal Magic Brazil? What's up, the man with a plan? I like the man with a plan. It's a good username.
Good emote too.
And a good emote. And a good person. 15.
I'll do my Nintendo emotes.
Do it. Jam some emotes. Jam some emotes for Delver Mirrors. Hit your favorite emote 3 times. Brainstorm. In response to Ponder. Probably trying to find days here. Shut this down.
Yeah, I think I think Alan dazing that forcible on the brainstorm there might have been a little
Spell Pierce
iffy.
on Ponder. Damn.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. But the previous play where he dazed the forcible on his brainstorm while he was ahead seemed like he was losing tempo by picking up that land, right? Because he could have had Oko down a turn earlier. So I think that was actually not a mistake per se, but he could have had Oko out for another turn. So at
Wow.
least that's the way I see it.
Oko's here, by the way.
What
And the
does
milk.
chat What does chat think? I've just been rambling, so I'd like to hear some other
Chat
opinions.
Chat is throwing back shots. They're saying let's effing go. They are jamming all kinds of crazy emotes right now.
LFG, bruh. So now Alan's pretty far ahead, I think. Yeah, Arcanist gets dazed here. I wonder what he was holding up the mana for. Like, why didn't he just hardcast that?
Food and a swing.
Well, I'm trying to think what Alan's hand is because he held up 3 mana. Is it Brazen Borrower maybe?
Hmm.
Does he have that in the main? So why would he?
All right.
Well, he didn't
Scoop.
cast it. I don't know. Seems weird.
Entering scoop phase here. And I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't see why he picks up that island there. I mean, it preys on miracles. It's got Winter Orb. It's got sometimes got Cinder Vines, Sylvan Library. You know, anything to get you ahead. And Clothis is a good addition to that kind of grindier game plan.
Yeah, maybe Grixis is better against combo and Rug better against fair decks. Maybe I was wrong. Thoughtseize does make a difference. Oko making it more mid-rangey has changed the deck quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely the deck. This build of Temur Delver is more skewed towards mid range. I would consider this mid range,
Yeah.
Rug mid range, if it could be renamed. Grixis is can be mid range, but it's a little more aggro than Rug is. I mean, how many times did we see Roland send Bolt to face when it wasn't lethal, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Jason, the old threshold decks were just like a stack of disruption and annoying creatures. They were just a nightmare.
So
Delver.
Roland's playing the typical Delver game plan here, where the Delver flipped to Thoughtseize, got red blasted, Roland followed up with Wasteland, and then second Delver. So this is exactly where the Delver player wants to be. And in this specific matchup, Grixis has a point whatever 1% edge for having basics. Because I don't think Teamer ever really plays basics. Like they're just trying to be as cost efficient as possible, whereas Grixis can sometimes bring in Blood Moon or things like that, although Roland's not, but he's a little bit less, he's a little bit less soft to like back to basics and Blood Moon stuff, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yep.
And Wasteland too, which is another Delver thing.
Yep.
But Alan has a second land here, so I mean he did mulligan, so he probably was looking for at least 2 mana, 2 lands in hand. So let's see if this Delver flips. Brainstorm. Alan audibly says, "Woof." Yeah, I mean a lot of back and forth here between the players, so it's a good card for Roland to draw. This I would consider dazing, and it looks like Alan is going to do that. Looks like it resolves, and Alan's going to take 3. So yeah, you always wonder, is that correct against a Delver player who hasn't made his land drop yet and hasn't attacked yet? But it looks like Roland did not have the second land, or sorry, a follow-up land for his second main phase. So he's not that far behind, essentially, is what I'm saying.
Yep.
Also, his Valk got wasted, and Volcanic is definitely a better commodity in the Rug deck. So the fact
Skews
that he
more green.
exactly, and I think he's playing around another Wasteland here that Roland might be sandbagging because he did not play the drop out. I think he's just gonna. It looks like he just was color fixing instead, but we know he has a drop in hand. So the bad thing here is if Roland does play Wasteland next turn, then he's down 2 Valks, which is 2 out of his 3 red sources. So that's important to note. Looks like I'm the only one excited about this Delver Mare. Chat's had enough, I think.
Chat, slow down. Come on, chat. Jeremy's losing faith in you.
Do we know Alan's preferences about days on the draw? Saw some great surprises in the Dave versus Roland match last week. I think that Alan hasn't played Delver enough for me to know that, but I bet you he's probably has 2 on the draw. 2 and 2, I would guess.
Ninja
A lot of
Striker.
players.
Ninja Striker, thanks for the follow. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say a lot of players like either board out all their dazes or leave in like 1 or 2. It's debatable. So Goyf here, some weird art, tilting art Goyf.
Table Space, thanks for the follow.
Alan's proud of the tilting art. Don't think I'm making fun of him. He loves it.
He just likes the stuff that is
it's
what do you call
shiny.
it? Like yeah,
Shiny.
like the new pimp cars. He likes it.
Ooh, shiny. That's him. Major tilt Goyf, yeah. Major tilt just look for the rest of his cards. I mean, his duels are sick, but the invocations I just can't get behind. Like the whatever these new box topper things are called, I'm fine with it. Like I don't mind the extended art, but the invocations, I just think they made a huge mistake with those. Arrested Development, Joe Voice, I've made a huge mistake.
I think the art itself on the invocations is wonderful. Like that day's
Yes,
art
agreed.
is
That Days is
amazing.
awesome, but the frame, I mean, is just I don't know what they were thinking.
I
They
think
weren't really.
long term, 10, 15 years into the future, people are going to pull out their Amonkhet invocations and people are like, whoa, you have those?
Maybe.
So, two Goyfs in play for Allen. Does he have this match? What do you think?
Um, I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see, what do we have? We have land creature, instant. I don't. Do we have sorcery? I don't think we have sorcery. Or is that a ponder? Yeah, we do have sorcery. So 4/5s. Wait, did Roland cut Gurmags from his deck for Stormwing Entity?
I believe so,
That
yep.
seems like a mistake to me. Not a mistake, but a different deck than he usually plays.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a mistake. I don't know. I think Gurmag is like the card you want to be running in Grixis. But
Thoughtseize with two opponent Tarmogoyfs in play is, I don't think that's what you want to be doing here.
Roland's also trying to push the envelope with these Grixis decks, so he might be onto something with Stormwing that I don't see. But I think Gurmag is just really good. Gurmag is a 1 mana 3/3.
Someone needs a dead drop, yeah. Brainstorm and Daze in hand. I guess you take Brainstorm? I don't know.
I
Oh, he
believe he
takes
said I don't
Daze.
take the days.
He did take the Daze, yep. Oh, there's Stormwing Entity. That's why he
All
thought
right, so
seized.
let's see if I'm going to eat my words here because that's literally the card I was talking about. So let's see if this beats Gurmag right now.
Hmm. I don't know if this is still a race. Let's see. Scry 2 ETB happening right now.
I mean, because he's not going to chump with this, right? I mean, I guess he has to. I don't know.
I think so, because what if Alan has a bolt, right? Is it worth...
Well, if Roland has Day's Gutshot in hand to try and kill one of the Tarmogoyfs, then he would have to hope that. Okay, so Alan does his first main phase before attack, so that's what he's hoping for. That's the only line I'm seeing here, right?
I guess so.
Or like double days, I guess, is the other. Although he lets this happen, so double days not
Maybe
really
Alan
doing
is
anything.
looking for a way to try to remove Stormwing or
Yeah,
force...
agreed. Alan plays the tilting arts, Dunster. Get used to it. Wait till you see the rest of his deck.
Wow, he takes it.
Yeah, I mean he's just taking it. He has to have counter magic,
Yeah.
but that's gotta feel pretty rough if you're Roland.
Says bolt you.
Oh,
No! Ah.